welcome to our Canva Space workshop. We're absolutely thrilled to have you joining us. Today's workshop is Back to School with Canva Print. My name is Jess. You might have seen me at some of the other webinars. I work at Design School here at Canva. So I reached out to print expert Caroline to take us through how Canva Print can help you get ready for the coming school year. So Caroline is joining us live today. I'll let her introduce herself. Over to you, Caroline.
Hi, everybody. I'm Caroline from Canva Print. I'm just really excited to take you guys through some educational tips and tricks for designing and printing with Canva. I'll hand it back over to Jess for a little bit.
So what are we going to go through in this session? We're going to give you an overview of the Canva for Education product. Then it's over to Caroline for some printable resource tips, some tips and tricks for using Canva Print. So making sure you actually know how to make sure your printed products come out as well as possible. So some print terminology in there. And then we're going to go through actually how to print in Canva as well. So let's look at what Canva for Education is and what it includes. The founders of Canva looked at design and discovered that creating good designs was really complex. First of all, you needed software. Maybe you had to study design. You had to purchase and download stock photos to use. You had to slice up your images, and then you had to put this all together into a design and understand how to prepare it best for web or print. So the idea for Canva came about to make designs way simpler and integrate all of those things into one product. So this allows people to collaborate online, get access to professional design tools in one click, and also gives access to a library of images and the ability to publish anything to anywhere. So we're on a mission to empower the world to design with Canva for Education, and we want to empower creativity and collaboration in every single classroom. At Canva, we live by our values, and they are our shared beliefs of how we work, how we treat each other, and why we're building this company. And we are investing in education, as be a force for good in the world is our most important core value. So we're committed to keeping Canva for Education absolutely free now and forever. So Canva for Education gives you access to a lot. Primarily our Canva Pro product, but for free. So this includes millions of premium images, fonts, videos, and templates. You can remove backgrounds from photos with our fan favorite background remover. You can create presentations, you can add your voiceovers, you can add videos, you can collaborate with your entire class with a dedicated classroom space where you can invite students and share and review work together. And you can also assign work for students to complete individually or in groups and mark their work in Canva, or use Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom. We've also partnered with some popular classroom tools, as you can see on the slide here, such as key integrations with LMSs like Canvas, Schoology, Google Classroom, and as I mentioned, Microsoft Teams, as well as some other popular EdTech tools like Class Dojo and ThingLink. So if you haven't already got Canva for Education, head on over to canva.com/edu-sign-up. It is 100% free. There's no limit to how many teachers or students from your school can join, and there are no hidden charges or upgrades. You can use your school email domain to sign up, or if you already have a Canva account, log in first and then head in to /edu-sign-up to then upgrade for Canva for Education. So that's it from me. Now we've covered what Canva is, it's over to Caroline for some print insights.
Today, I want to share with you all the thousands of printable education resources that are available to teachers and to parents on Canva. So I know that as an educator or a parent, your time is really precious and really, really limited. So when you visit Canva, we just wanted to make sure it's easy for you to find and create what you need specifically for an education lens. There's an abundance of resources for you, your students, your classroom, from worksheets and posters, planners, presentations, flashcards, game boards, infographics, it's all there. And you can edit all of it. So you can customize it specifically for your classroom. And for each of these types of resources, we've got templates that speak to like a really diverse set of topics. You'll find educational resources for every subject, whether you're looking for a worksheet on like the PEMDAS method or SWOT analysis. Our templates are packed with real educational information, not just placeholder text. Our template creators at Canva often do research into trending, common, or standard education topics in order to bring you accurate and relevant content straight into your templates. So here are a couple of my favorites. For parents and teachers who want to empower and encourage social emotional learning, especially after this year with the pandemic, we want to provide you with quality resources that you can confidently take to your students without having to spend all the time writing it yourself or go looking for it on the web. We also have classroom decoration kits. So those are themed packs of like posters, lessons plans, calendars, like sort of meet the teacher posters, agendas, and so much more. I'll actually send you a master list of education resources. Feel free to scan it, the QR codes, if you'd like to open up on your phone, and those will have all the links and resources you will need in there. And just a quick reminder, this is not an exhaustive list of templates as we release hundreds of new templates each week. So now that we've got some of the resources that are available, a question that we hear often is, how do you find the best content among the huge variety of templates? So let's start with some tips and tricks to help you discover and design your files and help you save time. So we hear from educators that it can be quite challenging to find the right type of content in the right format. For example, you might find an infographic about greenhouse gases, but no poster templates on that topic. So here's my suggestion. Start by using the search bar at the top of the homepage rather than within the editor. Using the search bar in the editor will usually only show you results for that particular type of document that you're designing. So in that same vein, when you're using the search bar at the top of your homepage, omit words like flyer and poster. So just don't worry too much about what kind of thing you're designing, because adding those words into your search is going to narrow the amount of results you get on that topic. So focus on finding the right topic or content for the resource you'd like to create first. Then once you find the template with the right content, you can use the Pro Resize feature, which again is available for free in your Canva for Education account, and resize it to the right dimensions for the job. And this is just an example that illustrates the point. So on the left, as you can see here, I've searched my topic with the word poster on it. And on the right, I've omitted the word poster. So searching it without the poster word gave me much more relevant content. Elements, on the other hand, can be quite tricky and a bit elusive when you're searching on Canva. Usually you can find an element that you really, really like, say, for example, an apple, but it can be hard to find matching elements like another banana or a pineapple that matches that exact style or category. So I wanted to teach you guys about how elements results are surfaced when somebody searches in Canva, and then that way we can figure out how to best optimize it. So each of these elements that are created and published to Canva have two basic components attached to it. Each of these elements come with a brand ID or a keyword, and the brand ID is the ID of the creator who published and created the element to Canva. It can be Canva who have published and created the element, but sometimes we also have independent Canva creators who create and publish new elements to our platform all the time. So each of these creators are going to have their own page where you can follow and browse all the elements that they've published to Canva. And then after the brand ID, you also got keywords, and there are a bunch of different keywords that can be associated with each element, and they typically fall under a couple of categories. Keywords can be the name of the object, the theme, the art style, element type, relatable search terms. So you can kind of think of these keywords in the same way hashtags work on Instagram or search terms in Google. So let's use this apple as an example. If you click on the top right of each element, this dropdown will appear, and it'll show you the name of the element, the creator, the licensing info, the description, and the keywords. And this drop-down menu will usually tell you everything you need to know about a specific element. But if you click on the element's title, you'll also be able to access the creators page there and view more information. So if you click view more by, and in this case, it says view more by Billion Photos, that's the name of the creator, it'll show you all of the elements that are made by this creator, and you'll find it in the search bar. So that's the brand ID there that pops up in the search bar. And so to recap, this apple has this brand ID associated with it. And these are all the keywords that you will see associated with this apple. So if I was looking for other fruit that matched this apple, I'd keep the brand ID in the search bar, and then I'm going to add all the keywords there except for apple and red apple. And instead, I'm going to add the keyword for each particular fruit that I'm looking for. And there's no specific way you need to format it, just a brand ID followed by the keywords. I mean, ideally, you'd have spaces in between them. So I found all of these fruits just with a combination of those keywords and that brand ID. So it's not always going to be perfect because not all creators create element packs. So just try the best that you can. But if you're looking to start collecting like an elements resource, you can check out Canva Education presentation templates. You'll be able to find element sets on the resource page of presentation templates, which is typically at the last page of the deck. And find that a lot of teachers will start collecting and saving elements and folders to use for later. I'll just show you just an example of all the different icons and resources and elements that you can get at the back page. You can also save them into your folders, which we find is a really common hack. A lot of teachers will take and highlight all of the elements on the page, download them and upload them back up to save into a file. Or if you use Google Drive, you can also save it directly into your Google Drive. And that way all the other teachers and educators on your account can also use them. Now that you've learned a couple of tricks on how to discover elements and templates, let's talk about some cool features that you can use when you design for your files. So QR codes, of course, have become really popular tech during the pandemic. It's been used for contact tracing, and you use it at a restaurant to pull up the menu. But in the case of education, QR codes are a really great way to link students to relevant resources on the web when they're looking at like a physical worksheet or poster in your classroom. So you can use them to send students to their online textbook or lessons plans, cool videos, or even a link to your own Canva presentation. You can use this feature by going to the More tab in your object panel on the left-hand side. And then if you scroll down to apps and integrations, there will be a button for QR code. If you click that, it will open up a new tab where you can go ahead and add the link, and it'll drop a QR code directly into your design. And now this is a newer feature that's in beta right now, but you can also import and edit PDFs in Canva. It's a great feature if you want to sort of, in general, beautify or Canvafy old PDFs that you just want to refresh. But I just would not recommend this for any government official forms, as typically the formatting gets a little bit different. So I just want to make sure that like when you are submitting official form, you just want to keep it in the same Adobe. So this is great for just old PDFs that, you know, are lying around in your educational resources that you want to beautify. Now, I know that templates are rarely perfectly tailored to your classroom. So when you're designing and customizing templates in Canva, be sure to remember that Canva can help you create beautiful graphs, comparison charts, concept maps, family trees, and more. On the left-hand side here, I've made a list of all the different diagrams and graphs that you can use. And you can also check them out at canva.com/graphs. This is an easier way to see all the different graph on chart options rather than in the charts tab in your editor. So those are our top tricks and tips on creating with Canva. So let's move on to talking about printing those files. There's a difference between the colors that you see on the screen and the ones that will be printed. And that's because screens will typically use RGB. That's a combination of red, green, and blue to display every color that you might see on the monitor. Whereas printed colors rely on color inks, cyan, magenta, yellow, and key, also known as CMYK. Because of this difference, screens and inks produce a different range of colors. So as a general rule, brighter and more saturated colors will be a bit duller when printed. And that's often why you don't see bright neon highlighter colors on paper. So if you're designing and printing something really bright and colorful, just make sure that you can review your design in CMYK before printing. So the way that you do that is when you click print or download it, you have an option to have the PDF file, and there will be a checkbox that says in CMYK. And you just make sure you have that selected to be able to preview it in CMYK. And so when you're designing, you'll also want to avoid these colors here that I've highlighted. So these are the really bright saturated colors, and it's just like this part of the color spectrum that can be a little bit funky when you print. So just if you avoid these colors when you're designing in Canva, those are the ones that tend to diverge most from the colors you see on the screen. And so this CMYK and this RGB issue is something to keep in mind whether you're printing from the school printers or printing with Canva. This is an issue that affects all printers. And so another quirk about printers is that usually they can't print all the way to the edges of the page. So there's an industry term called print bleed. And that's where your document is given a designated margin of error. So if you see this dotted line here, somewhere between that line and the edge of the page is where the printer will put ink. So if you have a background on your designs, you'll just want to stretch that background to the very edges of your design, so that way they don't get cut off. And the danger zone is pretty similar, except instead of the ink, it's about where your design will actually be cut off the paper. So anything in this red margin is at danger of being cut off. So you just want to move any elements like this cutlery here or this text inside the red lines, so that way it doesn't get cut off. And as an extra precaution, Canva's platform will always inform you whether your designs are at risk of these issues. So you have a chance to proofread or tweak your designs before you print. And it'll also warn you of any low resolution images in your design, which typically is a great thing if you're designing something really, really big and it looks really high quality on the screen, but because your document is really large, it might actually come out not looking as amazing as you'd like. If you're printing and ordering something through Canva, just remember that you can get it shipped to your school and that you can download your invoicing for expensing. You'll be able to find it when you go to the settings tab on your homepage, go down to purchase history, And then if you click this more button, you'll be able to get a drop down that says view invoice. And lastly, Jess will take you through some resources so that you can take with you.
Thank you so much for that, Caroline. That was brilliant. So many actionable tips there. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our Canva Creators program, and this is what I was referencing at the beginning of the session. If you're always on the hunt for great educational content, I really encourage you to check out our Canva Creators. So Creators is our new marketplace, which invites designers and educators to share templates to their Canva storefront and our library and earn royalties by doing so. The marketplace will enable teachers and students to find creative resources for every subject, grade, and classroom need. There is a way to find your favorite creators. If you're just in preview mode looking at lots of templates and you find one that you like, then if you hover over it, you'll see those 3 dots pop up in the top right-hand corner. And if you click on those dots, you'll see that you get that preview option down the bottom there, and you can click on that and it'll take you through to a bigger page where you can see that resource in a bit more detail. And you can just click on that. And on the next page, it'll take you to that resource and show you if there's a creator name there. And if it's made by one of our talented Canva creators, their name will appear there and you can click on that. This Canva creator Teach Cheat, she makes a lot of really great STEM stuff because she's a makerspace and STEM specialist. So if you're interested in finding out more about her, you would click on her name there. And that would actually take you to her profile, which we can see here. So there are a whole bunch of resources here, and you can click follow. And that means that that creator will surface when you open Canva in that first screen where you see kind of your recent designs and things like that. So I thought I'd take you through a few of our great educators. So Teach Cheat is definitely one of our most talented creators. We're making a lot of fantastic content. We also have a science-related creator called Nitty Gritty Science, and Caroline has very efficiently put all of these links in the cheat sheet, which I gave the link out earlier. So don't worry if you want these links, you can see these on screen, but they'll actually be in that cheat sheet for you to get at the end of the session. Then we've got Rory, who is doing some great maths and algebra-based resources, Rory Yakubov. And then we have Tanya Leclerc. So Tanya Leclerc recently did a remote learning webinar with us. She's a remote learning specialist, and she makes a lot of resources both for primary and secondary. So definitely worth checking out her resources, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're going back to school soon. She's just made a whole bunch of back to school resources, which may be of use. So that's some Canva creators for you. We also have some extra resources to share with you. First of all, we have this onboarding guide for teachers. So if you have not yet signed up for Canva for Education, or you've recently signed up and you're still finding your way around, this is a really, really useful resource for you because it takes you through step by step, all of the features, setting up classrooms, using assignments, all of those features in detail. We also have some videos for you at Design School. So you can find some specific Canva education tutorials here at designschool.canva.com/tutorials/education. And then, of course, there is Design School. So Design School is your home of asynchronous learning, not just content on Canva, but also a range of soft skills. So I know a number of teachers who are doing design units with their students or want to help their students understand how to design better. They're actually using resources from Design School with their students, kind of upper elementary and high school students. So there's lots of courses on there, like branding your business and understanding branding and social media marketing and things like that. So definitely go and check out designschool.canva.com. And then if you haven't already, please do join our Facebook group for teachers. Here we post any new features or templates we have published, and you can reach us directly with questions or chat to other teachers using Canva in their classrooms. And then one of my favorite all-time groups is the Canva Design Circle. And this really is the group for all Canva lovers. So it's, again, a really super supportive community. People go in there and they share their designs and they ask for feedback from the community. They can ask questions there. You see latest product rollouts. Definitely worth checking out if you would like tips and tricks on Canva generally and a place to ask your questions. And then it's time for our final Q&A. So I saw a couple of questions come through in the Q&A panel. So the question was, and this might be useful for everyone to hear, do the worksheets have to be shipped to the school, or can I get them mailed to my home? So Caroline, I might let you jump in and just let everyone know about that.
Yeah, so you can really get them shipped anywhere you'd like. So you can get them to your home or to your school. And that field will just appear when you check out, when you're going through You're printing right after your printing process, your proofing stop process, sorry. So after you proofread for the bleed and the danger zone, you'll have an option to add your address. The addresses don't actually get saved to your account, so you'll have to pop it in every time, but you can pop it into any address you'd like as long as we ship there.
So that's really useful, having it sent straight to school or to home if you prefer. I think that just about wraps it up for today. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you all at another Canva Space webinar very soon.